We're going to dive straight in with our main story this week, which concerns Afghanistan, a country that's blessed the world with innumerable treasures, from embroidery to traditional Pashto and Persian poetry to the Afghan hound, undoubtedly the real housewife of show dogs. She's a messy bitch and she lives for drama. This week marked the one-year anniversary of our withdrawal from Afghanistan, which you may remember was complete mayhem.
They were scenes marked by chaos and desperation. Hundreds of Afghan citizens running alongside a departing U.S. C-17. Now, nearly a year after the U.S. withdrawal, the indelible images remain. A U.S. Marine lifting a baby over a barbed wire-topped wall at Kabul's airport. And this photo, taken by Technical Sergeant Justin Triola.
Okay, how many people do you think are on your jet? 800 people on your jet? Holy cow.
Yep. I think everyone knew the US occupation was going to end badly, but it's still shocking just how bad it was. In terms of things not going the way that you thought, our exit was the foreign policy equivalent of putting a cake in the oven and then 40 minutes later taking out a live rat dressed as Hitler. It's not just a fuck-up, it's a mind-blowing fuck-up that'll take years to fully comprehend. Everything happened so fast. Apparently, even the Taliban was surprised at how quickly the Afghan government fell. And a pretty decent way of knowing if the US did a good job at something is by asking the question, was whatever we did a fun surprise for the Taliban? Within a matter of days, the Afghan government fell and the Taliban took over. And many top US military officials have struggled since then to put into words just how badly they miscalculated, with General Mark Milley putting it like this.
All the intel assessments, all of us, got that wrong. There's no question about it. That was a swing and a miss on the intel assessment of 11 days in August. There's nobody that called that.
Yeah, that's about right. Swing and a miss describes roughly 40% of the US government's history. The breakdown of stuff we've done goes something like this. 40% swing and a miss, 20% beefed it, 15% whoops, 15% whoops parentheses murders, and 10% delivered most, but not all, of the mail. And look, there is a lot to criticise about the way we left Afghanistan, including the fact that while we managed to get roughly 80,000 Afghans, many of whom had worked with the US, to America since the withdrawal, the number who remain in danger because of their association with the US mission can be counted in the hundreds of thousands. So criticism of what happened is completely justified, though maybe not from the guy whose administration signed the deal to leave in the first place.
Bagram is this great air base that was built many years ago at a cost of billions and billions. And we left in one night. Everybody was gone. They left the lights on. Think of it. The lights were all left on. The dogs were left behind, by the way, for those people that like.
That is exactly why we need private intelligence organizations. I heard it on Lex Friedman's podcast where he interviewed a completely neutral CIA, former CIA officer. Former, of course, only because he now works, I assume, in the private security business. My man said, look up from your phone, bro. Bitch, what do you want me to do? My fucking gate, my doorbell rang. What do you want me to not open it? Fuck you. Suck my dick.
Like dogs. But we left, and they don't like dogs. You know that. They don't like dogs. They don't like them at all.
What? Honestly, it has been a while.
Guy fucking saying this dude is just like unhinged. That video makes me so sad, but who realistically is going to save them? Who's actually trying to do it? But come on, there are so many ways to make more money, but most of the poor just don't put in the effort to do so. Wait, what? You wrote all this shit about how like the wealthy are selfish only to fucking turn around and say these guys aren't putting the effort to do so? Yeah, dude, you know how they're going to be saved? By fucking buying into cryptocurrency, brother. You know, that's how they're going to be saved. Motherfucker, do you want to know what those people look like or what they do on a daily basis? Here, let's take a look. Here. That's what those people are doing. It's 107 degrees out there, okay? They're picking fucking broccoli. What more do you want them to do? What the fuck do you want them to do? They work harder than your fucking bitch ass ever has worked. Shut the fuck up. Oh, man. Well, you know, they should have just been drop shipping after fucking watching. God damn it, dude. Yeah, all they should have done is drop ship after watching Hustlers University. Christ, dude. Holy fuck. All right, back to
Since we've
Afghanistan.
heard Trump's voice on this show, and I somehow forgot just how bizarrely incoherent he is. It's truly extraordinary to see his brain function like a crow spotting a crumpled up can, because he's flying, and then, whoa, Nelly, hold on, is that what I think it is? Shiny garbage, nosedive. Also, comments about people not liking dogs are a little odd, coming from a man who, every time he holds one, seems to make the dog want to die. But we're not actually going to talk about the withdrawal from Afghanistan tonight. Instead, we're going to focus on everything that's happened since. Because while Afghanistan has faded as a topic of discussion in this country, it really shouldn't, because it's in dire crisis right now. And I will admit, this is a grim topic.
Like, almost entirely our fault. Top to bottom. Start to finish. Every part of this collapse of the Afghan way of life is directly an American gift, okay? The gift of imperialism. We drop-shipped imperialism into Afghanistan, and we've been doing it. Like, not even almost, like all of it, 100%, the entirety.
But it's also an important one, because things are going worse in Afghanistan than you may know, for reasons that have even more to do with our decisions than you might think. So tonight, let's check in on Afghanistan. And let's start with the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, the Taliban is now in charge. And in the early days of their takeover, they tried to convey a slightly softer image to journalists through carefree photo ops like this one, where Taliban members visited a fairground in Kabul, or this one where they took a trip to the zoo and really spelled out the message that they wanted the world to hear.
We want to show everyone that under Islamic rule and security, everything is enjoyable, and everyone can live in their own country the way they want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because that's what you associate the Taliban with. Freedom for everyone to live their best life.
I wonder how these guys rose to prominence. How did they get the guns and rose to prominence in the Civil War? How did that happen? Does anyone know? Like in the original Afghan Civil War, what was it? There was a... Shit, I think there was a USSR-aligned communist government that was doing, like, Islamic pogroms, okay? So, fair. So much so that even the USSR itself was like, bro, you need to chill the fuck out. You need to cut it with this whole, like, anti-Islam shit. And then the Sigma Grindset fundies fought back. You know, was it did they dropship copies of Hustlers University? Is that, how did they fight back? Because, like, the USSR went in, they had helicopters. Shit, did they fucking... How did they take down helicopters? Oh, that's right, dude. Fuck. Oh, we did that. We helped. We built we used the legitimate resentment that people had to our advantage and beefed up the brave Mujahideen, offered them Stinger missiles and numerous kinds of small arms, and then they ended up winning. Yeah, Top G, more like Top Jihad, exactly.
Life. Also, for what it's worth, I don't think losing the right to drive bumper cars or go to the zoo was at the top of anyone's list of concerns when the Taliban took over. It's akin to the Pope saying, don't worry, everyone, Catholics are still allowed to use pogo sticks. Okay, great.
My man, I love when people say their army was trained by the Pakistanis. Yeah. You're right. How dare I make that distinction? You know, it's like thinking that two different brands of cleaners, like cleaning supplies, are not owned by the same fucking corporation. Oh shit, dude, never mind. Oh, you fucking... Damn, bro. Pakistanis? Never mind. Totally. That's... I never would have guessed. You got me. That was a totally different situation.
But to be honest, that's not the main issue people have with the Catholic Church right now. And while the Taliban is not actually a monolith, different regional leaders rule with different degrees of severity, I do still feel comfortable saying everything's very much not enjoyable for everyone in Afghanistan right now. For starters, there have been brutal reprisals against US allies and former Afghan government employees, nearly 500 of whom were killed or forcibly disappeared during the Taliban's first 6 months in power. And on a much bigger level, the Taliban's taken an absolute sledgehammer to women's rights. For all the many legitimate criticisms of America's occupation, women did make huge gains there. In 2001, there were few, if any, girls in school, and by 2020, girls made up roughly 40% of all students. That same year, Afghanistan's parliament had a higher percentage of women than the US Congress did. But now, they've essentially gone back to zero. But much more than that, Taliban decrees have tried to control nearly every aspect of women's lives, ordering that they shouldn't leave their homes unless necessary.
Okay. Again, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like life under American occupation was better, okay? Life under American occupation was only a little bit better, certainly in the green zone, okay, Kabul and the like. While that same occupation was like bombing the shit out of every fucking area, and still continues to do so from time to time. But not only that, but also we're literally working with the same Taliban leaders half the fucking time, only until those dudes would end up shooting the U.S. military members that were there to, I don't know, protect the fucking poppy fields. But also, once again, this notion is like, this is kind of like a fucking, this is doing propaganda for American imperialism. If you don't set the standard back to a time when Afghanistan had some level of autonomy, but was punished for, not for its like anti-Islamist attitude, but punished for its allegiances to the USSR, you're just wrong. Like, you're not telling the full story. It's crazy. I'm sorry. Like, you can't talk about Afghanistan without going further back in history.
And that only women who can't be replaced by men will be allowed to keep working. In fact, one of the only areas women can work is in healthcare, because there are some situations where men aren't allowed to treat women as patients. This midwife, for example, is still working in a hospital, but she is furious about
women in pre-war Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same fucking picture over and over again, all over the fucking place. But anywhere you go in MENA and also in Asia as well, anywhere you go, the same story plays itself out. 60s, 70s, you got, if you're talking exclusively from a very narrow framework of like women's liberation, you know, Western adjacent values as signifiers of women's liberation, then yeah, Iran has the same shit, Egypt has the same shit, Afghanistan has the same shit, all of these fucking countries, Iraq has the same shit. Every single one of these fucking MENA countries and Afghanistan as well has the exact same imagery that you can point to. It's just the truth. These are countries, but prior to U.S. involvement. You can't blame the U.S. for all of Afghanistan's problems right now. It's true the U.S. likes to participate in proxy wars, Afghanistan included, but the Korean War was a proxy war between U.S. and China, and South Korea was able to make progress. Some problems in Afghanistan go back centuries. Interesting that you mentioned that while I'm literally showing you Afghanistan, post-50s, and destroying the narrative that you're trying to set. But also very interesting that you brought up fucking South Korea and North Korea. I wonder why North Korea is in this fucking dire, desolate circumstances that they're in, even though in the immediate aftermath, they were able to recover better than South Korea in the aftermath of the Korean War, despite having the imperialist forces destroy, bomb, possibly even use like germ warfare, and and destroy 80% of the fucking buildings in North Korea. That's a fucking ridiculous take, man. That is an absolutely preposterous take. North Korea's death and destruction came at the hands of the destruction of the USSR. When they're only opening into the fucking real world and markets was through the USSR. Every single city, 40% to 90% of every single city in North Korea was reduced to rubble. Also, you know, South Korea's development came at the cost of having a military dictatorship and being another American client state. They'll allow you to develop if you are America's dog, okay? The idea that you can't blame the top global hegemonic power for all the death and destruction that it caused is silly as fuck. Hayır. Evet. Hayır, pet olarak kalsın. Onları öyle yaparız. Evet. Here you go. Such a bullshit narrative to spin from these freak Westoids. They don't see economic situation, only no headscarf, no skirt, no liberation. No, but like, that's why I said even from a hyper narrow and very specific form of like Western adjacent values being a form of like female liberation or women's liberation, even on that front, they lose. Even on that front, they are completely incorrect. Because it's not like Afghanistan was always this way. What do I always say? What do I always fucking say? Countries that get invaded by imperial powers always are going to turn reactionary, right-wing, hyper-nationalistic. Okay? Doesn't matter if it's Russia invading Ukraine that is going to cause an incredible amount of nationalist uprisings. Doesn't matter if it's fucking Afghanistan. Okay? This is what happens when America involves themselves in your internal affairs. All right? What about Vietnam, though? Vietnam was a victory. What do you mean? One of the few examples of successfully purging imperialist forces. And also, not only was it an example of successfully purging imperialist forces, but like Vietnam still suffered. It still suffers drastically. Anyway, so there you go. I just wanted to show you this so you understand. Anyway, where were we? Oh, we were talking about South Korea too, which is really fun because didn't the current president of South Korea literally decide that the financial crimes? Didn't the current president of South Korea, the new one, the incel one, decide that the fucking oligarchs of South Korea from Samsung and the other fucking company, which is like the fifth largest one, I forget the name of it. I don't know which one it was, but he just absolved them of their crimes. I think, what was it, bribery? One of them was bribery. He just pardoned the Samsung family and said he pardoned the Samsung family to, you know, move forward, not backwards. Anyway, that's great. Let's continue.
What she sees happening to her country.
The Taliban cannot ban me from working in the hospital because they know that it is needed. I humbly request the Taliban, do not meddle in women's rights to education and employment. Otherwise, they are amputating one arm from the body of society. Our societies are made of two pillars, a pillar of men and another pillar of women. How can you run your life one-sided?
Yeah, of course. You can't run a society on a pillar of just men. I mean, we've tried. For thousands of years, we have tried, but look where it's got us. We have a global pandemic, the planet is on fire, the Babysitters Club is cancelled despite unparalleled critical success, and the world's richest man is a ventriloquist dummy from hell. Let's maybe lean on that one pillar a little bit less. And things are getting worse because in March, the Taliban went back on a promise that they made after they took over and announced that girls would be prevented from receiving a secondary school education in most of the country. Now,
D-Pipe, thank you for the 5 gifted. Las Canaras, thank you for the 10 gifted.
that decision drew widespread condemnation in Afghanistan, including from many Taliban members. But the leadership pushed back, claiming that it's just temporary and arguing, among other things, that they simply needed more time to decide on a school uniform for teenage girls, which is clearly total bullshit. Besides, for an organisation so concerned with virtue and purity, taking months to brainstorm a schoolgirl uniform you like is objectively the single perviest thing you can do. So women in particular have lost a great deal in the last year. But on top of that, the whole country is facing a cascading series of humanitarian crises. The UN has estimated that as much as 97% of the population is at risk of sinking below the poverty line. And part of that is due to a series of natural disasters, from an ongoing severe drought that's hit around 80% of the country, devastating food production, to a massive earthquake in June and flooding just this month. But that's been exacerbated by the fact that this is all falling on a brand new Taliban government that is in no way equipped to take it on.
The Taliban now need to shift from being a jihadist insurgency to a ruling group. For 20 years, you've built an organization that...
What the fuck do you mean? They were, though. They already were. They were. And then they became a jihadist. Well, they were always a jihadist insurgency, I guess. But, yeah, but like, what do you mean? America invaded Afghanistan. Not a good one. I know. I'm not saying it's a good one. But they were. And then America came in and pushed them aside, instituted a puppet government that was bullshit, that was horrible and bad. And then they turn around. Afghanistan isn't in the Middle East, Hassan. It is in South Asia. Calling us MENA is wrong, and we are in Asia, and we are Asian. Yikes. Okay, that's why I always say MENA and Asia. Okay? I know. Also, shut the fuck up, dumbass. Yikes, he says. Jesus Christ.
It was designed to fight, and you motivated people to engage in suicide bombings. They don't turn into people who are government officials overnight.
Yeah, of course not. A militant insurgency group is pretty low on the list of people that you want leading a government, right around the Hells Angels, the Manson family, and Ron DeSantis. And to be 1,000,000% clear, I am not suggesting that the US occupation was a perfect magic wonderland. It was awful in its own ways, not least having to live under the spectre of hellfire being rained down from flying unmanned death machines every day. Our continued presence there was untenable. But the exact circumstances of our departure have to a significant degree made things substantially worse. Because we've made a series of decisions, some of them understandable, that have had huge ramifications for the Afghan people. And let's start with the Taliban government itself. When it took over, many of its members were already sanctioned by the US because we list the Taliban as a specially designated terrorist group. So
we also literally took, Donald Trump flew the fucking leader of the Taliban. Like, they took him out of Pakistani prison to make a deal with him. And that deal was supposed to feature the current Afghan government. And the Taliban literally said, no, we don't give a fuck about the current Afghan government. The Afghanistan is ours. And you know what Donald Trump did? He said, yeah, you're right, my bad. And literally just cut out the fucking Afghan government from the deal. So this notion that it's like anything other than like Donald Trump and Joe Brandon's doing is silly. But also, in some ways, there was no way out of this. You know what I mean?
suddenly, those pre-existing sanctions apply to at least part of the Taliban government. Take Sirajuddin Haqqani. The State Department currently has a $10 million reward out for information leading to his arrest. But you should know, he's the current acting Interior Minister there. So guess what, State Department? I found him. Can you mail me my $10 million now, please? Don't worry, I spend my money very wisely. So individuals in the Taliban government are sanctioned, which effectively means the whole government is, making it nearly impossible for banks, businesses and charities to operate there, which is a massive problem, especially because 75% of the former Afghan government's budget came from foreign aid and grants. 75%. That was the money that, among other things, paid the salaries for vital government services like teachers and public sector employees. And all that aid disappeared almost immediately. As one expert has said, no country in the world could withstand a sharp cut-off of that aid. And it's affected everything. In healthcare, for instance, the World Bank and other organisations immediately froze $600 million in aid, which left doctors in a very difficult position.
This state hospital in the heart of Kabul has not received funding since the Taliban takeover.
We don't have any medicine here. We had antibiotics, painkillers and vitamins here, but it's empty now.
What's your budget now in total for the department?
For the total departments, we didn't have. Just only for our salary we have budget. For other item, we didn't have any budget.
So you mean your budget is zero?
Budget is zero, yeah.
Yeah, zero. It is hard to imagine how a hospital can even function with a budget of zero, unless every exam room is just a paper bag and a sign that says, yell what hurts into this bag, then leave. And it gets even worse because the US also froze Afghanistan's central bank assets held in America, amounting to around $7 billion. Now, that is money typically used to do things like keep the currency stable, finance imports, and provide money to the banking system. The US froze those assets to prevent the Taliban from accessing them, but that also kneecapped the country's entire banking system, especially as Afghanistan doesn't have the ability to print its own currency. All of this led to a literal...
I mean, they stole the money. They're also sitting on every fucking dime that the Afghan government has. It's their money. And the United States just took it, seized it, and are not giving it back. Why? Because the Taliban are terror leaders. Okay, but you gave them Afghanistan. It's a country with millions of fucking people living in it. If you give them the country and then you turn around and say, nah, that's my money now. Okay, which, by the way, that number is so comically low, too. I mean, America are the terror leaders, yes, and they are the most successful terrorists, for the record. Yeah, the Biden administration won't release any of the roughly $7 billion in foreign assets held by Afghanistan's central bank on U.S. soil after the killing of al-Qaeda's leader in Kabul, according to U.S. officials. Just insane. Just an insane concept to think about. Like, we're just like, nah, we're not going to give you the money. $7 billion is, like, comical, too.
Cash shortage, where even Afghans who do have money in the bank can't access it. So there have been massive lines and waits just to get money out. At some banks, withdrawing cash has reportedly taken 3 days or more. And that has brought the country to an unusual state of affairs.
This is a unique humanitarian crisis. This is a situation where food is technically available, but there isn't enough liquidity in the economy and enough availability of paper currency to purchase food which is available.
Right, and that is awful. Food, but no...
Will the Taliban use it for their people or put it back in the military budget? What do you think? Bro, $7 billion. What are they going to buy? What do you mean? $7 billion is nothing. What do you think they're going to buy? Also, it's their money. You don't get to fucking say, like, oh, you can't use it like this. You can't use it this way or that way. Like, it's their money. What the fuck do you mean? Dude, I hate the minds of Americans. It's just like, it is so incredibly frustrating to sit there, literally in fucking Connecticut, in a nice little mansion, and just say, well, the Afghan people, I don't know if they deserve their own fucking money. Like, maybe they'll buy guns with it. What the fuck do you mean?
Money to buy it with. It's like a lyric from Alanis Morissette's Ironic, in that it's fundamentally not ironic at all.
For the record, that $7 billion, like I said, is comically low. It's just the first step. You know what I mean? It's just like immediately a crime against humanity. Like the fact that we still have it.
And I'm sure Dave Coulier is still somehow to blame. Things are very grim in Afghanistan. Its population is young. Nearly half are under the age of 15. And UNICEF has warned that over 1 million severely malnourished children will be at risk of death without emergency treatment this year. And because many Afghans have nowhere to turn for food or for money, families have been forced to make some harrowing choices.
40-year-old Ghulam Hazrat sold his kidney for around $2,300.
It's true. He sold his kidney to feed his kids. A desperate decision that you can make precisely once. That's actually an increasingly common decision in Afghanistan. And it's not just that. Families are also selling some of their children so that they can feed the others, which is just unimaginably heartbreaking. So clearly, the people of Afghanistan are in dire need of help. And the current president has, at times, been alarmingly blithe about the situation there.
Do I feel badly? What's happening to, as a consequence of the incompetence of the Taliban? Yes, I do. But I feel badly.
What the fuck do you mean? Like the incompetence of the Taliban? What incompetence? You took their money, gave them the country, and you took their money. A country that could only fucking exist, a country that could only exist with NGO help regardless. And that NGO help was another arm of America's, I guess, soft power that works alongside its imperialist hard power. This is why we always talk about fucking NGOs this way, here at least on the Hasanabi broadcast. That they are not trustworthy humanitarian institutions. They might have like legitimately empathetic people working within them. Okay? But ultimately, they are effectively another arm of the American military machine.
Also about the fistulas that are taking place in Eastern Congo. I feel badly about a whole range of things around the world that we can't solve every problem.
Okay, first, I hate to be a Marion the librarian, but you don't feel badly, you feel bad. Feel is a linking verb, and you modify...
I agree, Doctors Without Borders is sus as fuck. Man, shut the fuck up. Like, why do you have to go to that? Like, why? Why is that the first one you go to? The first one you go to is the one that got fucking lasered by Obama's drone strikes in where the fuck was it? In Kunduz. Like, obviously not every fucking NGO is suspicious, okay?
It incorrectly, Marion out. But second, it's pretty disheartening to see our official foreign policy boil down to, sorry, champ, can't win them all. Especially when the US is so directly responsible for so many problems in Afghanistan and in Eastern Congo, by the way, but that is a different story. Now, the Biden administration will point out that it's begun issuing sanctions exemptions to allow the free flow of some humanitarian aid, and it sent hundreds of millions in relief to Afghanistan, more than any other country, which is absolutely true. And it's also true that they've done that in the face of stiff opposition from some on the right who argue in pretty strong terms against any kind of assistance, and for one particular reason.
Obviously, humanitarian suffering.
NGOs are non-governmental organizations
all over this planet, right? I'm not in favor of giving money that I'm pretty confident will end up in the hands of the Taliban.
We should not give them one red cent until such time as we can demonstrate that they have actually done what they said they would do, which is to separate themselves from terror.
Look, Mike Pompeo and deep-fake Blake Shelton here are clearly arseholes, although I will say, for even non-arseholes, it is natural to be concerned about the prospect of US aid money going to the Taliban. But a couple of things you should know. For years now, charities have been able to find ways to work with, through, or around the Taliban to help ordinary Afghan citizens. They had...
I wonder why they can't
to do that, because even when the US was there, the Taliban effectively still controlled large parts of the country. And for people at some of those groups, like the Afghanistan director at the International Rescue Committee, the fact that they are financially constrained from helping people now is pretty...
Man, that's crazy. So America not only is like not offering them, America not only is not allowing Afghanistan to get its money back that it has seized, but they're also stopping the NGOs from working alongside, working outside of the confines of the Taliban, but still working at the behest of Afghan citizens.
Pretty frustrating.
I think a lot of people will say, well, we don't want to see aid go to Afghanistan because we don't want to give money to the Taliban. That's an extremist group.
So you want to make 38 million people suffer because of a few thousand? That math doesn't work for me.
Right. That math doesn't work for me.
By the way, the solution to this is, I mean, I don't know how, I don't know if this could actually happen or not, but the solution for this would be, unironically, to allow China to step in. You know what I mean? That's it. That's just like, Afghan is very mineral rich. We've known about it since the Cold War. Yeah, let China come in and help the people of Afghanistan. China is literally no better. Well, so far they haven't fucking done a 20-year brutal occupation campaign, so they are literally better. Okay? They are literally currently better. How are they currently better? Well, because they haven't done a 20-year brutal occupation campaign, which ended up with them seizing, which ended up with them handing the fucking keys of the castle to the fucking militant group that rose as a reaction from all of the actions that we had engaged in against the USSR in that fucking country prior to the 20-year military occupation. And then also on top of that, stop saying Tibet, I'm talking about fucking Taiwan? You think Taiwan is comparable to Afghanistan? Or are you out of your fucking mind? God damn, bro. Liberalism is a diagnosable mental disorder, okay? Straight up. Straight up. Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, imagine if China does Taiwan to Afghanistan in comparison to what America has done to Afghanistan. Yeah, dude. You know what? Motherfuckers would be literally building statues to Topji if China did to Afghanistan what it did to Taiwan in comparison to what America has done to Afghanistan. Do you understand? And then you'd be screaming. You'd be like, oh my God, we need to reinvade Afghanistan. It's becoming a serious problem for American hegemonic power. Literally let any other country try because you can't get much worse than the Americans. Yo, no, literally. Like, literally. You can't. That argument is completely broken when you look at the foreign aid budget, which is a big chunk going to Israel, which is a terrorist apartheid state. Yeah, I mean, we're not even talking about that. So I agree with the sentiment. It's not really comparable because the PRC is so much newer than the USA. Okay. So you're just saying, you're speculating that at its worst, China will be like America. Got it. That's always such a funny fucking argument to make. It's like, hey, I know we fucked up these countries. I know, like, Western imperialism eviscerated Africa, but, like, what if China does the same? Okay. What if? They haven't yet, but what if they do? Okay, well, they haven't yet. what if they do? Okay. What if? Like your argument hinges on just your theoretical opposition to the top of the hour ad break. Okay? What if the top of the hour ad break comes right now? How will I fight back against it? Well, you can fight back against it right now with a $5 a month subscription or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime. Oh my God, none of you knew that was coming. Oh yes, dude. Oh, I fucked you. I fucked you hard. Okay? I didn't even see a single chatter go, oh man, the top of the hour ad break debate, huh? Like, not a single one. Hope she puts you in jail. Top G. Do you feel proud? I do. And anyway, like I was saying, you can avoid them if you get gifted a sub, if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you can make your own luck. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Okay. You literally did that whole thing working towards that Chinese passport and an ad break. Fuck yeah, baby. Aisha Esquire, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Okay, so what's the reason China can't step in? It seems like a good business for them. I don't know why China hasn't stepped in. I thought they would have by now. Wait, what was I talking about with respect to China before I debated, before I flipped? The best like debates come when I don't even know I'm going to do it. When I'm like literally about to make a good argument and then I look down and see it's the top of the hour and I serve it. And I was making a good argument. Like I actually had like something different that I was going to say. Hope and Decay, thank you for the 25. Get the subs. Oh, the what if argument. Yeah. Like if your opinion on like Chinese imperialism hinges on things that they may do, then you've lost the argument. Now they might, and I'm not saying they won't. They certainly might. Okay? They certainly can, they certainly might. But that's not exactly a fucking that's not exactly like a good take there. You know what I mean? Can you elaborate why you've lost the argument if that's the case? What do you mean you've lost the argument? If you can't point to a fucking example, then and the prior lived experience is fucking worse, then what do you mean? Like half of the American foreign policy wonk understanding of the world hinges on saying, I know that there was a lot of bad stuff that America did in the form of chattel slavery. I know there's a lot of bad stuff in Western imperialism in the form of like economic imperialism, IMF, World Bank, just straight boots on the ground military warfare, extracting natural resources. However, what if the other side is worse? Like, that's not a fucking argument. You can't just say that. Okay, yeah, what if it's better? Owned. You know what I mean? Like, if your argument hinges on pure speculation on what China can do, hasn't done yet, but could do, okay, and what they could do is brutality similar to what America has done, then you don't have an argument. You just have speculation. And I can counter that by saying, okay, well, what if they don't do that? What if they're actually super poggers? Owned, I guess. And at that point, we're just having a conversation around, like, which one of us believes how fucking bad China is going to be. And, like, the sources for that is just simply your fear. Speculation is one of the bullshit things of banning U.S. gun... What? About banning guns or gun law reform in the U.S.?
Either, and that is saying something because look at me. I look like math in human form. I look like a Pokemon whose final evolution is a graphing calculator. I look like an algebra textbook left me on the doorstep of an orphanage as a baby. I look like what Matt Damon's character in Good Will Hunting should have looked like. So when I say that math doesn't work, you better fucking believe me. So there is a strong case to be made for finding ways to get humanitarian aid to Afghanistan, but that is not all it needs. In the long term, no amount of emergency relief can stand in.
This is the Mersheimer argument. Americans believe to their core that they are the good guys despite all evidence to the contrary. But I don't even think China will be the good guys either. So that's the other part of this that is like very real. Okay? No fucking government is going to be the good guys. These guys have been fucked over. Who's going to be marginally better for them is the real question. And if they're not fucking sending boots on the ground military warfare while simultaneously beefing up the most reactionary elements within the country in an effort to make sure that they destabilize the nation further and then ultimately hand over the keys to that fucking country while stealing all their fucking funds and their resources, then yes, they will be marginally better. And that's not exactly a fucking high bar to clear. You know what I mean? It's just not. And the same example could go for Africa as well. You might be very terrified of the One Belt, One Road initiative, but ultimately when you look at Foreign Policy Magazine or even The Economist talk about the One Belt, One Road initiative, the Chinese economic development hinges on loans that don't actually ultimately end up with austerity measures or arming violent paramilitary groups every time like the Nigerian fucking... the Nigerian government decides not to play ball with Shell. You know what I mean? That's not how this works. So far, they haven't done that. It's still marginally better. And that's not even the take of someone like myself. That's the take of someone that would probably disagree with me at its core with respect to their fucking ideology. The way they see the world. These are people that write for The Economist. These are people that write for Foreign Policy Magazine. These aren't people that fucking agree with me in any meaningful capacity.
For healthcare, an education system, or a functioning economy. As one report said, humanitarian efforts are bandages, not cures. You can't just keep applying them forever. And right now, there are some worrying signs of donor fatigue, with contributions from the international community drying up, even as nearly 20 million people, that's almost half Afghanistan's population, are experiencing high and critical levels of food insecurity.
I don't understand why we would make it a choice of one imperial nation invading to another one, though. Wait, first of all, I didn't say they're invading. Hold up. Okay? And secondly, right now, Afghanistan's development hinges on outside help. That's it. Even if America even in America, by accident, arrived at the correct moral framework and allowed the Afghan government, the Taliban, which we, gave Afghanistan to have their own fucking money, okay? To have their own money, which is their money, by the way. I need to point that out again. But if they were to do that, by the way, you are so Ameribrained that you said, what if China invades Afghanistan? Which is funny. That's just, you're an American. I'll allow it. I'll allow you to say that because that is, only an American would be like, well, what if they do that? Yeah, I know. What if they did do that thing that they haven't really done? But what if they do? Okay, so as I was saying, even if America allowed Afghanistan to retrieve its $7 billion that it fucking has, right? Which is a tiny, almost comical number, okay? And allowed NGOs to work within the country once again, Afghanistan still needs development, economic development. Afghanistan still needs someone, a foreign power, to help it, okay?
Insecurity. So a more sustainable way to help them is through development aid, building long-term solutions like investing in healthcare and education salaries, or helping build infrastructure through investments in irrigation and water management in areas affected by the drought. But the tricky thing with that is, that really does require some form of engagement with the Taliban. Now, there are mechanisms to try and ensure that they don't end up benefiting financially, but admittedly, none of them are perfect.
That's not very Jusha of you, comrade. Yeah, man. Afghanistan should rely on, the Jusha ideology of self-reliance, except, oh, wait, they literally fucking can't. What are you talking about?
And the idea of the Taliban getting one red cent is obviously hard to swallow, especially because, despite the Taliban's new outward-facing live, laugh, love vibe, they've continued to remind us how terrible they are, not only with their heinous treatment of women, but also with the recent confirmation that they were harboring the leader of Al-Qaeda in a safe house. But withholding all forms of aid until the Taliban either give in or collapse just is not a viable strategy, because, for one thing, who knows how long that will take, if ever, and for another, while you're waiting, potentially millions will starve. Just listen to that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that North Korea is literally working with China. That's what I was going to make jokes about. The Jusha ideology of self-reliance hinges on either collaborating with the USSR or, after the dissolution of the USSR, collaborating with China. So even the Jusha ideology probably agrees on that.
Midwife from earlier, who is no fan of the Taliban, explain what she thinks of that logic.
Your sanctions on the Taliban will kill us faster than the violation of our rights by the Taliban. A girl dies from hunger, and a mother either sells her daughter because of hunger or from pressure to marry her by force. The issue of their education and literacy is meaningless when you're dying from hunger.
Yeah, she's right. There's no two ways around it. This is a crisis at the most fundamental level. And thankfully, there have been some small steps in the right direction recently. The US is working on a proposal to release some of the billions of dollars of frozen money into a trust fund that the Taliban themselves can't access, which could still help inject some cash.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I love this. He says, Abi, in the Wikipedia page, says Maoists were backed in the size of the Mujahideen against the Soviets. Could you explain why China did that? And then, boom, asked and answered. China was continuously being petty to the USSR after the Russo-Sino-Soviet split. They were no longer, you know. Because some people did not abide by the immortal science of Marxist-Leninist principles. Okay? They were being fake friends to Stalin. And even before that. They have a close relationship, and China is often considered to be North Korea's closest ally. China and North Korea have a mutual aid and cooperation treaty, which is currently the only defense treaty either country has with any nation. Yes, part of that is because it's a mutually beneficial relationship. But one way to undermine that relationship would be if you allowed North Korea to trade with the rest of the world and lifted the insane blockade, sanctions, all of that.
Stability into the country's financial system if it happens. Also, the UN and the World Bank both have initiatives in the works to try and bridge the gap between emergency humanitarian assistance and longer-term development aid.
Cumbin Man got fucking banned because he wrote such a long piece, but here. People are just mad China is doing capitalism better than the West by offering better deals to African nations in the free market. China is just doing capitalism. You have to be moronic to think that loans with promises of infrastructure building are worse than loans which require you to sell public services and privatize. I don't think China is imperialist. It's just doing capitalism. I'm not even a dengist.
As long as they're able to get adequate funding. And for the final time, I do get the broad worries about how sending money to Afghanistan might inadvertently help the Taliban. But
fuck that. I have no issue with that. That's ridiculous. That's just like so. I mean, John Oliver's audience obviously are all fucking Ameri-brained. John Oliver's fucking audience is just like so goddamn Ameri-brained. And so, you know, anyway, let's just...
The key question here isn't just what happens if we send Afghanistan money and aid. It's what happens if we don't. And we know the answer to that. Millions of innocent Afghans will suffer and die under a government they did not choose. The reality is, there is no one simple solution here that is without risks. But 38 million people's lives are at stake, and doing nothing would be yet another...
Doing capitalism with shit loan terms is doing imperialism. Why are we defending China? We're not even defending China. We're just saying that China is providing a better alternative to these countries than what America and Western nations have offered them. That's it. If you want to fucking eliminate Chinese hegemonic power, if you're truly afraid of it, then don't do IMF World Bank shit and offer better loans with less conditions. But no, you won't do that. So shut the fuck up, okay? You have no control over this anyway. It doesn't matter.
Colossal, if I may borrow a military intelligence term here, swing and a miss.